Good morning, CSL Sanctuary. How's everybody doing this morning? All right. I said, how's everybody doing this morning? Are you feeling the love? Are you feeling the joy? Good. Let's welcome in. There's a space in my heart. I find love. I find in you a truth beyond what you may see now. When we are one, more good abounds. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love. Welcome to peace. Welcome to our community. Where you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome. Welcome here. You are. See with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself, where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be where you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Welcome to love, you're welcome here. Welcome to peace, you're welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathing down, slowly all that's around, all that you feel, all that you know, let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be where you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. When we unite. Oh, say Welcome to love. Welcome to peace. Welcome to our community. Be where you are. Let your light shine. We're so much more when we are welcome. You are welcome. Sing it to someone you are welcome. Say you are welcome. Tell your neighbor, say you are welcome. You are. As always, we gotta go just a little bit higher. So I'm gonna do this next song over before I turn it over. All right, so you gotta stand up on this one. Come on, put your hands together. Oh, come on and clap that hand. Listen, it goes like this. I wanna clap my hands louder than before. I wanna sing my song louder than before. I wanna spin wilder than before. Somebody shout louder than before. Say freedom, freedom. Somebody say freedom. You want to say free? Oh, oh, oh. I want to jump a little higher than before. I want to sing my song louder than before. I want to love deeper than before. Somebody shout louder. I want to say free. Somebody say freedom. Oh, somebody say freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, no more shackles, no more chains, no more bondage. I am free. Yeah. Shake your hand like this and say, no more shackles, no more chains, no more bondage. I am free. Yeah. Shake your hand like this and say, no more shackles, no more chains, oh, I am free. One more time, say, no more shackles, no more shackles, no more chains, no more bondage. Say it one more time. Say freedom. Freedom. Donnie Lee, my friend. Very nice. I love that first song, John Singer. Thank you for writing that. He's out of CSL Atlanta. Welcome home. Welcome to everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy February already.
It's like when I'm here, it's like another month. Another month. We're in the second month of 2025. Does that kind of make you go, what? For some of us who are old enough, what is going on? So thank you. And having the freedom to choose anywhere, to be anywhere you want. Thank you for choosing to be with us this morning. And that includes all my friends online. If you don't mind, I would love to welcome you if you are brand new to us. Try that better. So if you don't mind, raise your hand. Let us know you're new if you are new. And I'll start with you, young lady. What's your name, if you don't mind? Brittany.
I've been to the center at in Las Vegas. Yeah.
CSLSM, so with Reverend Marquito. Okay, excellent. That's where I came from. So, very good. Welcome, and we will have somebody coming around to give you a little gift bag that contains a prior Science of Mind magazine. And if you're not familiar with who we are, it gives you a decent idea of our philosophy. So thank you. I saw you raise your hands, folks. Would you mind introducing yourselves?
So I'm Kim.
Kim?
We're from Wisconsin. I'm visiting the area right now and thought we could recite some.
Excellent.
Welcome.
Your name, sir? Tom. Welcome. I'm Rev Joe, by the way. So I'm happy to have you here. Go ahead there, Anna. They may be familiar, but we still get a gift. The law of giving and receiving. Circulation is always happening around here. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Donnie, for being here. I know it's a drive up. We're just gonna let everybody know we got a new piece of technology and we're letting it, particularly at home. So we're hoping it's working well. So all of our good vibes and mojo, knowing that everybody's hearing everything and experiencing the amazing music and entertainment we've had so far. And now you did song 2. So is there another song? No, we didn't do song 2. There's only that. We threw in, no, you did do song 2.
Yeah, it's song 2.
No, you did song 1 according to this.
Well, yes, you're right.
So, but I'm going to do the Flames of Faith ceremony next. I think we should just take it down. Am I missing something?
No, you're
It's
right
an
on
interesting
track.
morning already.
You did
We're on
the
track. Why would I look at that? All right. So let's just bring it down. Let's take a collective breath, though, shall we? Breathe in. Hold. Slowly release. Such a sacred time. I love this ceremony. So we perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all things, all beings come from one great universal presence, which we like to call spirit. We first light the unity candle, which represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. Breath. We light a candle for honoring the shamanic traditions and the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring, I didn't have coffee this morning again, I'm talking fast, I gotta slow down. Let's try that again. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for God, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium in a natural way. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle acknowledging the centers for spiritual living and all forms of new thought, the metaphysical path of a personal relationship of healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the next candle for inclusivity, affirming that those that are seeking a stronger knowing and understanding of divine love are welcome here. There is nothing outside of the divine. You are welcome. We now light the healing candle, and I invite you to silently offer into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they are now the perfect expression of Spirit's eternal wholeness, peace, and love. Let's affirm all is perfect, whole, and complete. I stand.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. Open my eyes to see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that sets me free. There is only love.
That there is only love, and that love is God. I recognize I am one with it. And because I know this for myself, I know this for each and every one of us. Love is freedom, and freedom is love. And that is all that there is. And in that freedom, I rejoice, because freedom feels happy to me. Freedom feels good. Freedom feels like an experience I desire. In all of my creative processes, in all my relationships, in all abundance and in all health, I know that this is the truth. And because I know it for myself, I know it for each and every one of us. There is only this freedom, this will of God that is within each and every one of us. And I give gratitude to the law that says, yes, it always has been and it always will be. And so I release it. I let go of everything other than. I release it and I let go of it as I surrender to that love. And I say yes, and so it is.
There is only love. There is only love that sets me free. Be love, love. There is only love. There is only love. So I got another song for you. Read, oops. And this time we're going to have to read them by ourselves.
Okay, it's been a long time since I've been here. A minute. I'd like to start with just one little tiny exercise, if you don't mind. Recognizing that love, I realize that, oh, I know something about you. And I'd like to share that with you. Would you like to know what I know about you?
Yes.
You, every one of you, are magnificent. Right? Can you say that? Yourself. I am magnificent. Because we know that about each other. Could you say that to each other? That acknowledgement is awesome. And so my reading for today comes from a book called Journey Beyond Words by Brent Haskell, a PhD and a DO who studied the Course of Miracles for many, many years before he was visited by Yeshua for a year. And he transcribed this book. And it helps one discover the Course in Miracles on a much softer way. Let's put it that way. And this is just a quote from Miracles, because we're all miracles. Okay? It is absolutely certain, whether you know it or not, or believe it or not, that every single thing to the last detail in your life is created by you, desired by you, valued by you, clearly chosen by you. And in your freedom, when you choose to let go of fear, your life will truly seem to be turned upside down, and the world will call it a miracle. In that moment in which you truly perceive yourself, hear me well, with no exception, that you see your brothers as in exactly the same light, and truly light it is, for you are beings of light, not of darkness. As you see yourself with true perception, you shall see all brothers with true perception. In that moment, the moment of the miracle, you will simply be aware of the oneness, the link that links you and me, all beings, all creation, and God into one harmonious whole. I said it is not I who do these works, but the Father working through me. And that is the way it was. The Father is awareness without fear of God itself, the Holy Spirit, of the oneness we share, and in the moment of the miracle, you merely know what to do, what to say, what to be, and what to feel. The world shall see the glow around your being, the light in your eyes, the peace that permeates all that you are. And the world will say, it's a miracle. And indeed, a miracle it will be. For you, at last, shall be free. For you are magnificent love. Blessings upon you all. That is all.
I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. Tell somebody that magnificent one more time. Here to remind you of your magnificence. Here to help you awake into the wonder that you. I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. You truly. So now it's back to me.
Have we ever really left?
Okay, very good. So I got another song for you. Very easy song.
Okay.
Can everybody say happy?
Happy.
Say it one more time. Happy. Okay, very good. So I'm going to have you help me with this song. And when I point to you, you're just going to say happy. All right? All right. Very good. That's how it goes. I think it's crazy what I'm about to say. Sometimes things here take place. I'm a hot down, because I'm happy. This together. So did anybody remember the 60s? When we used to have those boxes? Anybody remember the dance? Oh yeah. Okay. We're gonna sing that chorus one more time. I want you to do it dance. Okay. Bring me down. I love you. Bring me down. Bring it down. Bring me down. One more time. Break me down. Ain't nothing. Break me down. Break me down. Ain't nothing. Break me down. Here we go, let's go.
Am I allowed to go up now? I'm just the intermission for our entertainment here. Tommy Lee, everybody. I also want to give thanks for all of our volunteers today. We have Ellen working tech. We have Bill. So far, so good, Bill. As far as we know, it's working. We're getting there. Okay. Let's see. Marina came in early, opened up. Anna, Donna, Diane. Did I miss anybody? Thank you. This doesn't happen. This is a community. It doesn't happen without volunteers. So God bless you all, each and every one of you. And I'm just knowing that we're just going to continue to have more and more people show up and just make this even easier and more graceful. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to start off with a short reading from Thich Nhat Hanh, who is the Zen monk. Most of us probably recognize that name. Excuse me. He says, "We can imagine there are many doors leading to happiness. Opening any of those doors, happiness will come to you in many different ways. But if you are attached to one particular idea of happiness, it is as though you have closed all the doors except one. And because that particular door does not open, happiness cannot come to you. So don't close any door. Open all the doors. Don't just commit yourself to one idea of happiness. Remove the idea of happiness you have, and happiness may come right away. The fact is that many of us are attached to a number of things we think are crucial to our well-being. A job, a person, a material possession, an ambition. It could be anything, he says. Even though we suffer a lot because of it, we don't have the courage to let it go. But the truth may be we continue to suffer precisely because of that. Each one of us has to look deeply and see this for ourselves. It needs great insight and courage to release our idea of happiness. But once we do that, freedom and happiness can come very easily. So today's talk is You Are Enough, the Art of Happiness. When we talk about true happiness is not something that is fleeting. True happiness is what I like to call a basic understanding of spirit's wholeness. We're happy, we're focused, we're in the flow, we're allowing things. Things may not be perfect, but where we stand mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, we're happy. This is good. Now, maybe joy, I would say, is that next higher expression when we're kind of more unified with this wholeness. Today, we're just talking about happiness. And why? Because let's be honest, if the whole world were happy, this world would be paradise. If we were just happy. So let's just focus on that happiness for a little bit here today. And something I heard last night, I was in my hotel room watching Gaia. You don't have that program, what do we call it, an app or a website. It's full of amazing material that's aligned with our teaching and beyond. And he said, loud and clear, gentleman, Daryl said, happiness is not something we have to get, but something we have to get out of the way of. Because it's already who we come into this world being. But being human, and which can be a very messy thing, we kind of throw these filters on. We throw these demands on. And as Thich Nhat Hanh was saying, we expect certain things to happen certain ways, and without knowing, often out of the love of ignorance, we block our own happiness showing up. It's shocking still.
I'm
You are
just,
just
I
an
got
hourhouse
it. When you
of
got
spirit.
it, you got it.
I don't know backwards. I'm okay backwards.
Start
It's okay
singing.
to go backwards once in a while when you visit. Donnie, ready? No, I'm just kidding. All right, this is Ernest Holmes. He says, we must come to believe that at the center of our lives, there is a wholeness. And we should think of the mind as the door through which it enters. Therefore, we should be very careful to guard what comes into our mind from the opinion of others, and should regulate what comes into it from any source. So, basic understanding of science of mind, yes. And at the same time, wouldn't we be a lot happier if we kind of just followed our own bliss? If we didn't necessarily limit it to, I'm afraid, what would so-and-so say? Raise your hand if you had that thought in the last 2 weeks. You're going to do something, or something, the way you were going to do it was guided by the thought of how others would see it. Now, is that normal? It is normal. Do you want to be normal? Do you want to live at an optimal level of spiritual wholeness? And so it's not wrong to be doing this anyway, right? Again, best advice from whoever Marquita ever gave me was stop making yourself wrong. And that has literally changed my life, because so often in my voice, that little voice in my head, I'm mad or I'm upset, I'm angry outwardly because I'm really angry at myself, making myself wrong for being stupid, doing something wrong, making a mistake, hurting someone when I didn't want to. And the truth is, we're never going to be happy until we get over that part of it. So, valuable information. I want to share a second quote. So part of this is happiness is, again, that understanding that there is a wholeness and it's all right here. I can clearly remember, I would say clear enough, that I was well under 10. And as children, we would play the Make Me Laugh game. And I was really good at making, I know it's hard, making people laugh. But yet I wouldn't laugh. And they couldn't get me to laugh. And it wasn't even that they weren't trying hard enough. It was almost my recollection of those moments where, like, okay, I see the humor, but I didn't know how to react. And so finally, when they would get mad at me, I would follow what they did for me, which was they would laugh so that I would laugh. So others kind of taught me how to behave way even back then. And so I asked myself, well, what else am I doing that I've learned from others that may not be serving me so much as laughing when something's actually funny? It goes all the way back off. Ernest Holmes says, back of unhappiness is the thought that there is not good enough, love enough, peace enough, health enough, nor understanding enough to go around, so that as a result, some of us lack or are short of the good things of life. We absolutely recognize this in our lives, that we go through life striving for something that isn't there. Now, we recognize what the lack of happiness is. We can talk about that, and we don't need to, because we feel that almost on a daily basis at some level. And that is really the work we do. We pay attention to our thoughts and our feelings, our emotions allow us to recognize, are we in that flow of happiness, of spirit, of wholeness, of love, of joy, or are we not? Are we resisting something? But I love our teaching because it's a little more practical. And so those 3 in a row, but I want to get there. Ernest Holmes says it perfectly. He says the art of happiness is the art of living deeply in the presence of the moment. With mindfulness, concentration, and insight, we can free ourselves from feelings of restlessness and craving and realize we already have more than enough to be happy. We agree, let that sit in. Do we really have enough? Because my mind's going to go right off the, well, I'm happy, B-U-T. What if I had X, Y, and Z? Would I be happier? Right? That's what we're bombarded with all day, every day, especially in Western civilization. And if you're not sure maybe what you want, turn on the TV, open any app, turn on the radio, you're going to get an advertisement, something telling you what you need next. So many of us spend our lives so busy striving for the next thing, whether it's a job, the next level of something, another relationship, of this, of that, all because we feel it's going to make us happier. And all the while we're saying that, we're really not happy in the first place. We're saying like, yes, I want more happiness, but we're not even starting with happiness because we're coming from a place of lack. And so we're basically seeking things outside of ourselves to fill an existential hole. And really, I say that, but it's not even a hole because it's already here. It's just we put so many clothes on top of ourselves, so many masks over our face, we lose sight of it that if we really let all that go, we can be just okay, which we would be as we came into this world already having everything. Now, on this spiritual human existence, yes, we need to have other people in our lives. But when we're happier, we're attracting the right people and places that allow us to stay and grow in our levels of freedom. So again, the truth is that there's nothing really outside of ourselves that is going to make us happy. That being said, we could take a class and learn something, and that could lead to us remembering our innate happiness. And yet it's still a choice. In other words, yes, it's kind of coming from the outside, but really life is doing what? It's mirroring what we're feeling at the time. So as a new piece of information comes in, we have to be courageous enough and strong enough to say yes to trying that new thing. And then somewhere down the line, we go, didn't I do this when I was like a kid? Like, I just played because I wanted to play. I did this because I wanted to do this. And that's what made me happy. And we, again, lose sight of that. Sometimes it is because we got that relationship. We thought that was going to make us happy. And now we actually feel less free. Spirit knows nothing of lack. Remember, spirit and wholeness are synonymous. There is nothing, again, I hear me say this all the time, and partly it is because it's such a mantra in my life to remind myself, there is nothing outside of the divine. It's only God being expressed. But how are we interpreting that is what matters. And so lack is an experience that we choose both consciously and unconsciously until we don't. Now, once it becomes consciousness, and this is our conscious, and I heard this last night and it really kind of hit me. The gentleman said habits are unconscious. But once we're aware of them, it then becomes a choice that we own. Right? So that goes back way back to the idea of radical responsibility. Oh, this is showing up. I have to own what's showing up. If I want to be happy, I have to own what happiness is. And maybe I have an outdated definition of what happiness is. I think many of us have outdated definitions of what happiness is. And the funny thing is if we go back and ask kindergartners what makes them happy, it would probably be very similar to what we want.
Chocolate chip cookies.
I want to play. I want chocolate chip cookies, right? I want music. I want recess all day long, right? So one day God comes down and he visits. He's looking at his creation. And he walks up to a person and he says, "How do you like it here?" And person one says, "Yeah, I figured I'd see you. Why? Because I got a lot to say to you. First of all, what's the temperature outside? It's 110. It's been 110 for 15 days. You are the God of all. Could you not make it, I don't know, to change a little bit, bring in a cool breeze, bring in some clouds, something? And this crazy world, look at my neighbor over there. Look at that idiot. What is he doing all day long? He does this. That gets in my way of doing what I got to do. I go to work. They're stupid, ignorant people. I turn on the news. It's just violence. Couldn't you make happy people that get along together?" And then red ants. What are these red ants? All they do is bite, and they're always in the places that they shouldn't be. What is going on? I really think you can do a lot better. I just nodded, walked on his way, and comes up to person two. "So how do you like what's going on?" "I can't believe you're leaving. I thank you every day in prayer, but this weather is beautiful. It's always changing. So I always have to prepare differently. And it just kind of keeps me in a good mood. Sometimes there's sun out, and then I'm like, I could use some clouds. And then it rains. It's like always right on time. And the people that are around me, my neighbors, I love my neighbors. They're always coming over. We're watching TV together. And she's such a good cook, and we just share everything together. I love where I work. We all get along. And these red ants, these little suckers, they're the millionth of the size that I am, and they have the courageous enough to bite my butt. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. Two completely different views. Now, if you were God, who would you want to hang out with? It's kind of a tricky question. But what do we know about God? God is impersonal. God loves all. Right? But at the same time, it's something to pay attention to. It's something who are we aligning with? A couple months ago, we did the complaint-free world, which really helped a lot of us understand. As much as we talked that we were happy, we did not talk a lot about what we were happy about, right? I got to get mine back on. I broke two, just so you all know. I got to come up with a third. I'm trying to find something that has a little more resistance to my flow. How's that? And yet, so let's bring it back to spirit, wholeness is only love, is only happiness. And it needs nothing to be happy. So therefore, it doesn't judge us on where we're at. And so many people I've known, especially when I was in a particular, my former religion, are striving to please this thing outside of us because it's judging us of who we are. Now, we don't believe that philosophy that there's this God up in heaven in a chair just judging us, because we don't have to. Guess what? We do that pretty good all on our own. Now, if we're simply judging ourselves in the sense of owning, taking responsibility, that's a healthy choice. But not if we're beating ourselves up. As we pay attention to our thoughts and our feelings and our actions, then we allow ourselves to slowly and consistently be disciplined to align ourselves daily with that happiness, again, that is innate. There is nothing that we need. I remember going back to, again, as a child, and there were many times when our parents were like, hey, you guys just go do something for a half hour. And it doesn't matter where we were, we found something to do, whether it was tag or tinfoil. Tinfoil, roll it up in a ball, get on our knees. We're playing hockey, let's go, hand hockey. I mean, we could do anything with anything as kids. We didn't need something else. We just loved being being with each other in that presence. And whatever, often how many times is when we're feeling down and you come around someone who's feeling a lot better, that energy ripples into your energy and you raise your energy. So that's another reason why just being happy is so important, because we never know how it's affecting other people. We recognize this oneness, folks, right? We're all in that same great big pond. So the more that we work on ourselves joyfully, the more that we kind of cast off these masks that are just filtering and blocking the love, the joy, the experiences that we say we want. The more we work on that, truly, as we experience it, others experience it. You know, if we give permission for people to be happy. Matter of fact, I had somebody come at me, talk to me nicely. They weren't mad at me. And they were just saying how nice it is to work with me, because I'm always seeing the positive side of things, even though my boss did not see the positive side of my comments that day. I'll leave it at that. And that's okay, because I'm there for the kids. I'm not there for anybody else. So I heard another analogy I want to share with you. Let's say you're walking and you're holding a cup of coffee, and somebody's not paying attention and they bump into you and they spill coffee all over the place. Why did the coffee spill?
Because it was in the cup.
Not enough milk.
That was your way of requesting milk. But yes, the coffee spilled because that's what was in the cup. If there was tea in the cup, the tea would have spilled. And the analogy is that we are, as you find, a vessel of the divine. We are that. And when somebody bumps into us, spills us in essence, gets under our skin, what comes out of us is what is in us. And so if it's not happiness, if it's not no problem, I'll just wash this off, I have another shirt to wear, I take care of it, Or is it, what the hell are you doing? We have a choice. It's not them. They're the mirror. Remember, what goes out must come back. And so often, if we simply pay attention to our own reactions and how people are responding to us, that's what it's not always known. And so, what are we holding in our divine vessels? This is what we came into this life with. We can change it. If it's something that we're really not enjoying, if it's split pea and ham soup, right? So if we don't like that, we can change it for something else. I'm just reflecting on, we had a beautiful leadership dinner last night. It's so great to see everybody without any other pressures. So life provides us that cup. Life also provides us the opportunities to discover what we have currently in our cup. And it's something that we should pay attention to quite often. And we talked about freedom. So let's get to how do we experience that freedom? How do we experience that happiness? And it comes down to really, again, embodying the wholeness that we already are, to combine mindfulness and insightfulness, which is what Thich Nhat Hanh and Ernest Holmes both suggested. Being mindful, again, is being aware in this moment now. That's what mindfulness is. Now, we can practice mindfulness through meditation in other ways, but the idea of just being mindful, I'm present right here, right now. I'm focused on the task at hand, completely in my space right now. That's what mindfulness is. Quite often, what keeps us from this are old wounds. They keep us from experiencing being mindful in the moment because we're protecting ourselves at so many different layers. And we keep trying to fill the gaps and protect ourselves from these wounds that we live our lives without even realizing it, out of alignment with our own wishes. If we wrote down my perfect life is and wrote it down, and I think this is it's an excellent practice, God bless you. Spend some time, meditate just for 3 minutes, and then at the top of the paper, write my perfect life is. Let me do that back. Do that first, meditate for 3 minutes. Open your eyes and just write everything that comes down, unfiltered, until there's nothing more. And then, once you're done, read it and see if you're really living that life. Because that's how we discover the trauma and the filters that we pick up along the way, unconsciously. So it's important for us to recognize these little hooks that dig at us. And if we're not aware of it, like, I got this trauma I'm dealing with, and that's what triggers me. I'm just moving on and getting triggered. Someone's spilling my coffee, and I'm always blaming that person instead of paying attention to the pain that I'm experiencing. That is truly keeping me and blocking me from experiencing the happiness. Happiness is a frequency, right? And so if I'm on the frequency of pain, of trauma, of separateness, of depression, of feeling lack in any way, shape, or form, then I'm keeping myself from that level. It's the teachings of Abraham. She uses such a simple analogy. She's like, if we were all left to our own, if you kind of have to understand fishing, but a bobber floats on top of the water. And if you drag it underneath the water, it comes up to the top and the highest level automatically. That's what it does, unless you start putting weights on it. And that's what we do all day long until we don't. And really, that's what this community is focused about, is helping each other just let our vibration naturally rise to what it is where we came in. And love helps. This is from Thich Nhat Hanh. He says, love starts with observing the body and mind. All of us have some kind of suffering. There may be suffering that has been there a very long time. We have to be able to recognize our suffering and learn how to transform it so we don't transmit it in future generations. I was reminded last night, one of the best ways to handle trauma is to be with somebody that can help you, but to dive in all the way. Just to really, okay, what is the worst thing that can happen? If you have a fear, be with someone so you're in a safe place, right? We don't want you going off and point of hurting yourself or just going deeper into a lower level of emotions. But be in a healthy place to dive into. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of X. Okay, dive into it. Let's say you're experiencing that right now. How bad could you get? How bad could you get? Because sooner or later you will realize that it's unfounded. Because truth and fear don't exist at the same level. The truth of who we are overcomes every fear that we have. Fear is a past belief that we believe is holding us back. Something that we think could happen. And even let's say it could happen, we always have a choice. Where are we going to place our focus? And my attitude growing up was, all right, if this happened, could I handle it? I could. Okay, then let's go for this because this is what I want. Now, somewhere along the lines, I got that skewed up quite a bit. All of a sudden, I had children in my life. That changed me for a while, and I didn't recognize how it was changing me and so forth. But I recognized the emotion, the energy, and what was in my cup, and what was coming out was not happiness. So it's all a divine gift that we're experiencing. It's important to acknowledge that we must love ourselves. I know you hear that, but hear me. Love all of ourselves. Every part of ourselves, meaning that part that is still in fear. It's okay. Love that part of it. That's how we're going to get through it. If we're ever going to transform fear to love, we got to bring love into the equation. And if we reject parts of ourselves, we're denying our wholeness. We're denying the wholeness that we are. Again, we believe we're not. We put all these things in front of ourselves and say we're not. And what we come here to remember is it's true. Not at a divine level, it is. Now, how many people have heard of Lao Tzu? No, you probably haven't heard of a few quotes. So Lao Tzu was the legendary Chinese philosopher. There's not a lot known about him. Supposedly he was born way back in 571 BC. He's supposedly the author of the Tao Te Ching, which we quote quite often, as a beautiful book of wisdom. And his birthday is generally celebrated this week. So I thought, what could he have to share? And I'm going to share a quote with you. He says, I have 3 things to teach. Simplicity, patience, compassion. These 3 are your greatest treasures. Simple in actions and in thoughts, you return to the source of being. Patient with both friends and enemies, you accord with the way things are. Compassionate towards yourself, you reconcile all beings in the world. Brilliant. So daily we get bombarded with information. I mean, decisions to make, this, that, and the other thing. Often we are not even asking for these decisions to be made, but we put ourselves in these places, and there's people talking to us on the phone, and again, online and on TV. So, as we're even simply trying to make a decision of happiness or not, again, this is a practical teaching. So I heard this great story. I want to share it with you. It happened way back in the 1950s. It's a gentleman who started out with a shoe selling business, and all of a sudden it took off. And it took off, and he was so successful that he had several shops springing up all over that area. And so finally, a local reporter went to interview him, a journalist, and asked him, "You're doing so well. You know, I remember you when you were just one shop. What has changed? What is your secret?" And he said simply, 2, not 3. And she's like, I don't understand. What does that mean? And he says, well, let me explain. He says, someone will come into my store and they'll say, hey, can I see that pair of shoes? And I say, absolutely. And I bring them that shoes and they try them on and they go, can I see that pair of shoes also? And they'll say, absolutely. And we'll bring him or her that pair of shoes. And then inevitably, they're going to be, how about that pair over there? And to which I respond, which shoe would you like me to take away? 2, number 3. He says, he discovered that when they had a choice of 3, they almost never even bought 1. But when they had a choice of 2, they always bought at least 1. And I heard this, and I'm recognizing that, you know, kind of lines up with what Lao Tzu is saying in regards to simplifying our life. Instead of just looking at all the decisions, cut some out. This or that is an easier decision than this, that, or that, or, you know, if you get on, if you're trying to download a new app, you put it, God forbid, you put an app down for music, you're going to get like 16,000 apps to choose from, right? So the more specifically we know what we want, the more specifically we can say yes or no to those things. And when too many come in, of those ones that don't, you have that it's better than the internet, right? It's the infinite. That connection that's always on, connecting to truth, to spirit, to wholeness, that'll help us stay happier, Because it's much easier to go this or that. Yes, this is what I feel. Boom. And follow that. Trust yourself. That's where the compassion comes in, is trusting yourself. Even if it doesn't turn out the way we think it does, it should. And that is another trick that we get caught in. You say, well, I'm going to be happy and my happiness looks like X, Y, and Z. Even if it sounds great, I'm going to have an amazing job. I'm going to have this, that. We're still blocking out the infinite intelligence's way of showing up in our lives to add even more happiness. There's no limit to the happiness that we can express and receive. All right, coming to the end, I promise. So, first of all, Stephanie, wonderful reading, and I love the magnificence. And I also have a message from our higher selves, which is simply, I love you, and you are enough.
I love you too.
And you are enough. It's not me, it's your higher self. I love you. That's a perfect affirmation of practice. I love you. Help me look in the mirror. You are enough. When we raise our head up in consciousness, we clear our minds, and I automatically close my eyes, right? Because I go within. It limits my decision making. I just go within. It's easy. It brings me to a place of happiness. We will not move on without having our difficult times. I call it the time in the desert to confront our dragons. That's going to happen. But if they're already there, don't you want to get rid of them in the first place? I don't know about you. It can be difficult, absolutely. But I'm not one for keeping a whole bunch of dragons locked in my closet. And so, lean upon this community. Lean upon other communities where you feel safe. But I mean that as wholly safe. That you can trust them, and they're going to take care of you with compassion. We don't discover. Oh my God! I was going to share a quote. Andre, he says, one doesn't discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore for a very long time. Right. So as we jump into this, as we jump into looking at our happiness, what's in my cup? What am I holding in this divine vessel? What are my decision making? This is all very practical. Again, let's fall back onto the ideas about smooth. Keep it simple. Pay attention to what we're thinking and doing and acting. And here's the last thing I'm going to share with you because it nails it down. So there's an old dog. He saw a younger dog chasing its tail. He says, "Why are you chasing your tail?" And the younger dog said, "Well, I've studied canine philosophy, and they say that chasing your tail brings happiness. So I'm chasing my tail until I can catch it. When I catch it, I'm going to be happy." The older dog looked at the younger companion and said, "Son, in my young days, I also thought that happiness is in my tail, and I chased it for oh so long. But I began to notice that anywhere I went and whatever I was doing, the tail was following behind me. Then I understood that I don't need to chase it." So be simple, be patient, be compassionate with yourself and then others. You are worthy, you are loved, and you already have all that you need. Even dogs know this. So my advice is stop chasing your tail, start living more simply, be patient with yourself. You are already enough. Yes. We have our affirmation. Let's practice this together. So I'm going to ask everybody to stand. I'll read it one time through. And it simply says, "I embrace each moment of life knowing I am worthy and I am enough." So let's practice. I know time is 3, 2, 1.
I embrace each moment of life, knowing I'm worthy, I am enough.
We're going to amp this up. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Here we go.
I embrace each moment of life, knowing I'm worthy, I am enough.
Last part. I am worthy. I am enough. So please be seated. Let us end this in some prayer. As I choose to go within and recognize happiness. 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 It is who I am, and I choose to know that it is all that life is. the expression of happiness, and there is no end to it. In this moment, I do have all that I need. In this moment, I need nothing else. And I believe in a life of wholeness. Therefore, wherever I am always divinely provided for. I am so grateful for the people in my life that support me. I'm grateful for those that show up when the times get difficult, that compassionately remind me that maybe I don't have happiness in my cup, and I need to check that. And remind me that it's just so simple to fill it with happiness. I'm grateful for recognizing the simplicity of life. I wake up, I love, I live, I love, I go to sleep. Simple. I learn from my own mistakes, and I am gentle with myself. I know that I'm always doing the best I can with what I have and where I'm at. And I remember so is everyone else, so I am gentle with others. And I am so grateful for this community of CSL St. George. Each and every member, each and every volunteer, each and every service is just divinely orchestrated and divinely expressed. Each one of us here is a shining, magnificent light beam of the divine. We are granted this life with absolute freedom. We have so much freedom that we can choose to feel separated. But we know that is not our truth. The truth is that we are individualizations. We are that which we know is expressing fully. So we have the courage in this moment. I have the courage in this moment to shed my masks, my false selves, to honestly look at myself in the mirror and know that I am loved and I am worthy and I am enough. I am so grateful to be alive, grateful to be right where I am with all that I have in this moment, and know that there is absolutely no limit to what I can experience next. And no matter what shows up, choose to be happy. So it's offering. Actually, while we're doing the offering, we'll pause for a minute. So as we know that with the gifts and offerings that you give to us, we also we tithe to home office of CSL, and we also tithe to local community. And during the hurricane, I believe that's correct, one of our sister centers experienced some issues, some trauma through the hurricane. So this was CSL Asheville, and we made a donation to them. And their senior minister, Reverend Dr. Susie, wrote us back, and it says, Reverend Joe, much thanks to you and your community for Center for Spiritual Living Asheville for your prayers and financial support after Hurricane Helen. Thanks to communities like yours, we are recovering and coming back even stronger. Blessings to all of you this new year. May we all thrive in 2025. Yeah. So again, you never know what you give. We just let it ripple out, and we are grateful for all that you give. Continue to hold our vision in mind of our new center. Some new things will be coming out with regards to how we're going to be taking action. Not just, it's all important to hold that spiritual equivalent, that idea in the mind of God. Yet there are obviously actions that we need to take, and you'll be hearing more about that later this month, early next month, for sure. All right, so now it is time that we're going to make our offering. I just put this still, so I won't wait for that. So these are many ways you can give, but we have our, and I know you already know this, and this is the time we're going to give. I want to remind you, if you're here in person, we do practice the law of giving and receiving. So we do have a lovely red glass bowl over there. If you would like to make a contribution while you're here, I know many of you give online, so thank you. But you may still go over and receive one of the affirmation cards that you may take with you and practice and use and then pass on. So if you have something to give now, I ask you to hold it over your heart, or if you've already given, just hold that offering in mind. And this is our offering affirmation. We won't block anybody, and we'll say it together now. I am overflowing with love and abundance. I give from the source of my being, rich and unlimited. With joy and excitement, I share from this overflow. In return, the universe gives back to me in infinite ways, channels, and means. So it is. Now here's some music from Donnie while you your offerings. Thank you.
Everybody say bless, 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 bless. Your voice, if you mean to say bless, 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 say bless, 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 oh. Everybody say bless, 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 bless. A little bit louder for me. Say it now, bless, 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 oh.
All right, all right. Do that one for a long time. Love that jam. All right. Charles, yes, ma'am.
Find you on PayPal one more time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Money.
Thank you.
It's on our website, CSLSG.org. Oh, you Charles.
If I were any better, I'd have to complain.
Ah, good
Would
answer.
you say you're happy? If you like, I extend my hand because I believe it's all energy and it's all going where it has to go, because that is what Spirit does. So I am just absolutely grateful for that which has been offered here in our bowl, through our bank, through your minds, your thoughts, your emotions, your activities that all support our beloved community, as we support not only ourselves, but the local community and the home office. We are so blessed to be aware of this teaching in our lives and be able to use it to actually recognize and live from that divine freedom, love, and happiness. We are so thankful, so blessed. So with us.
So it is.
Thank you, sir. Who'll be doing announcements? You? You sure? Okay. Yep, I got you. Use the chair if you need to.
Need we get up? Okay, it's interesting, my affirmation for today from A Course in Miracles is I am blessed as the Son of
All
God.
right.
Every day,
Every day.
all the time.
And the small one is I am blessed, I am happy. I am peaceful, loving, and contented. So yeah, it just goes hand in hand. Synchronicity is really awesome in life. Okay, here's our announcements and our next in-person service, February 23rd, Letting Go, a new way of being together. Yay. Details are in the newsletter. Our prayer requests, our practitioners are available for a moment of prayer today and online. You can email the practitioners for prayer at CSLSG.org/about. Don't forget the about because it's not right on the front page.
Let me say real quick, if you're here, of course, you can see one of our practitioners, raise your hand if you're a practitioner. 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the back. We have some new walls that we bought, so it's a little more private in the back. So I'm hoping that would help. everybody to receive what you need on the spot, so please make use of that.
Thank you.
Yes. Next.
You can apply now for CSL St. George Core Council. We're accepting applications today. Speak to any council member for more information, and they're dispersed throughout. Just ask anyone and they'll guide you to that. Our upcoming class, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, facilitated by Reverend Rachel. It's a 5-week class on Zoom. It starts February 18th at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and there is a $50.
It's a 6-week class, actually. That's an error.
I did not hear about.
6 weeks, not 5. That was an error.
Oh, I see. Okay. Just reading. Okay. There's no Zoom conversation today because we're all here in person. Yay! Okay. Our upcoming Sundays next week will be Ripples of Mindful Living. Oh, that ought to be good. Okay, with Reverend Joe. And then February 23rd, Letting Go, A New Way of Being Together, which is good, Reverend Rachel. Okay, and we're going to sing a song. Let's see, I wanted to say one thing. I want Charles to come up. He has an announcement, and after that, Alan has Mr. Stanley has an announcement to make after Charles. Okay?
The contribution statements for last year, recognizing and thanking you for your support, for all the identified contributions to the center. Those went out about a week ago. I'd like to get it out quicker than that, but I had a little difficulty with the figuring out how to work the system this year. But they are out. They went out by email. If I don't have your email, or a few I didn't have, I think they were all one-time visitors. If you did not get your contribution statement and Joe's letter of thanks, please let me know so I can make sure that I've got the right email address. I've got my computer here. If you didn't get it, we can change your email right away in the system. And if you're not sure, you can go home and check and let me know either by sending me an email, treasurer@cslstgeorge.org, or let me know in 2 weeks when we are here once again.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. We'll do just a little bit of that song one more
Oh,
time.
well, we got one more. Sorry, Tony.
One more? Okay.
One more.
Just walk up to him like.
Yeah.
Come
give an engineer a microphone.
No dad jokes, you're barred.
Well, it's that time. We all calling all joy singers. What that is for you that don't know, we developed a small group like a couple of years ago of people that just like to sing. It's not a choir. It'd be nice if you carry a little tune, but it's not really necessary because there's plenty of people. So what's looking like is going to happen is on March 22nd, we will again meet with the Interfaith Choir at the Catholic Church in the evening. There'll be several congregations there with representatives, and we'll have an evening of music. We're going to provide some, as usual. This will be our 3rd year, I think. And so you can sign up. What we're going to do is we'll meet a couple times at my house. We got a couple songs we'd like to do this year. We have 6 minutes to do them, but we kind of stressed out a little bit. So if you'd like to participate with the Joy Singers, you can sign up over there at the table. We'll have your email. I'll let you know when it's time. We'll get together at my place and rehearse for the March 22nd event, which is a lot of fun, I'll tell you. And then as we're moving forward, and we're not far from meeting more often than we're doing twice a month now, we will present to the congregation probably once a month a song from the Joy Singers that we'll do on a Sunday morning. So in addition to Donnie and me providing your music, we're going to add some more music to the people. So if you'd like to play, go up there and sign up today, and I'll be getting a hold of you really soon. Thanks.
All right, Donnie.
Okay.
Back
Here
to
we
our
go.
regularly scheduled programming.
Just one more time, a little bit of this song. You don't mind, I'm gonna play a little bit this time. Does love me? Because I'm long you feel like bring me down, ain't nothing, bring me down, love is too high, bring me down, ain't nothing, bring me down, love got you. Thank you guys for joining.
Have a wonderful week.